Hi, everybody. This is MoveEasy Yoga. I'm Via, and today is the 12th of October, 2021. We're going to start in one of the ordinary fashions with your legs, knees bent, legs up on a chair or a couch or a coffee table. You may want something behind your head. We're going to be here for 7 minutes. I want you to pay attention to your breath. And if your attention starts to move away from that, just once you notice that, turn back to breath. Your arms can be at your side. They can be like Kathy's in a cactus position, if that's comfortable for you. I'm going to go do this too. I don't know whether you'll be able to see me. Stay right here. And just rotate your head. So look to the right and look to the left. Just slowly turn your head left and then right. Two more times. Come on back to center. Vagus nerve reset. Without moving anything but your eyeballs. Shift your eyes can be open or closed. Shift your eyeballs to the right. And wait for a sigh, swallow, yawn, or gulp. Come back to center. Shift your eyeballs, bring your eyeballs back to center. Shift your eyeballs to the left. And wait for a sigh, swallow, yawn, or gulp. Vagus nerve reset. I was talking to Bridget. Oh, go ahead and do this. Come on back. Do this 2 more times without my cueing. I was talking to Bridget today. She doesn't come to this class often, but she comes occasionally. And she does this, she says at work now, when she starts feeling stressed, she can do it walking, moving. She can do it almost anywhere, she says. And immediately the yawn comes because she's so, the body is so familiar to the cue. And come on back and finish that. We're going to do it today. We're focusing on shoulder, neck and shoulders. And for the first few sets, we're going to do first few triplets are going to be supine. So just stay where you are. It's nice to have your knees up, bent on, and you can keep them that way. And the first thing we're going to do is a supine scapular protraction, retraction. So bring your arms up in front of you towards the ceiling, palms facing each other. Oh, first, oh, wait a minute. Bring your arms down. I'd like you to get a mobility strip or a towel and roll. If you roll up the towel, if you don't have a mobility strip, and put this behind your, at your spine, starting at the rib cage starting about the rib cage. The edge of the rolled up towel or the edge of that might be down too far, Kathy. So the mobility strip starts at the rib cage.
Starts at the rib cage.
Yeah, in the back, right around there in the back. And then it'll go up past your head, basically. I want to see, roll to the other side so I can see where you're mobile. Okay.
I see what you mean, starting at the rib cage. So
Starts at the rib cage, right? It's probably about there. So there's a drop off. So you're actually, the mobility strip is working to open your chest. And aligning it there at the bottom of the rib cage helps. So if people don't have a mobility strip, roll up a towel, a big towel, not like a medium-sized towel. And then put that underneath your vertically underneath your spine. Now we're going to start. now that you've set that up.
now I need to scoot down a little.
Okay. It might take some finagling to get it in place. It's supposed to run right along your spine, starting at the rib cage and then going all the way up. It'll go all the way up past your head, probably, depending on how long it is. Okay, scapular protraction, retraction. Bring the arms up to the ceiling. The first thing you're going to do is pull your scapula away from the spine, and that will move the arms up toward the ceiling. And then retraction, bring your scapula towards each other as close as you can get. And then I want you to do this 5 more times, paying attention to your movement and your breath, making it a scapular movement. Inhaling as you go up and exhaling as you come down, or vice versa. Just assign a breath, assign an inhale or an exhale. Becoming aware of where this is coming from, where the movement is coming from. You should be aware of the scapula. The more you do this, the more you'll be using the scapula and not the arm. You should be able to retract better because of the rolled up towel or the mobility strip. The next thing you're going to do is lateral. It's sunrise, sunset, only it's on a supine. So you're just going to open your arms up and then bring them back. Lateral abduction and adduction with the same awareness. Where is this happening? This is mainly an arm bone movement, although the scapula might move a little bit, but the scapula is not featured. Open up and close. And 3 more times. Open up and close. Open up and close. And the last one, open up and close. And let's go ahead and drop your arms and just rest for a minute, because now we're going to do overhead arms and then cactus arms. So, but in this triplet, the third move is overhead arms. So bring your arms up toward the ceiling. You're going to start there. And then if you want to, you can actually protract your scapula before you move your arms overhead. And see if it's easier to move your arms overhead after you've protracted the scapula. And then come on back. So this is an overhead arms movement. So Kathy's protracting her scapula first. And I think you'll see that you can actually do a bigger overhead arms movement when you do that. Use your breath, be aware of the breath and the movement. This is an arm bone movement, even though you move the scapula. You may choose to move the scapula first. And the next time you bring your arms up overhead, I want you to stay there. This is a power position. Just notice that as you stay there hanging out, your whole front side of the body is open, and it's a very strong, powerful position. So you can spend some time there if you want, in your own practice especially, and then come back up and do one more of these, and then we'll move on to the next triplet. We're going to do cactus arms. Bring your arms, you can bring your arms out on a T and then bend your elbows. If your forearm does not meet the floor, please put something under it, washcloths, blankets, under it. So it has something to rest on. And we're going to be here for 40 seconds. This is a time, this is a chest stretch with with, it's not a repetition so as much as it's a timed. Of course, I can't find 40 minutes, so there. So now you get 40 seconds, I mean, so now you get a little bonus, but this is a great pose. You can do this also during yoga nidra or, during static rest at the beginning. This is just adds the dimension of opening the chest. And which, when your chest is open, you're in good posture. So that's another piece of this. Just staying here and breathing. Cactus arms. And now stay here and straighten your arms. So straighten your arms up over by your ears. So it's more like straighten up. And then bend your elbows. Come back to the original cactus position. Now straighten your arms, and they go out to the side a little bit like a V. So starting with cactus, straighten your arms into a V. And then bring them back. And do that 4 more times. And one more. And come on back, keep your hands there, or we're going to do head ramping. So you could put something under your head. You could put a sponge ball, you could put your interlaced fingers, you could put a therapy ball, something under your head. The point is on this is not to drop don't think of dropping your chin. Don't drop your chin. Don't think of dropping your chin. Your chin will drop because you press the occipital ridge into the floor. And the occipital ridge, your occipital ridge slides away from your shoulders. And as a result of all of that, the chin drops. It's a pet peeve of mine, actually, not to call this a chin tuck, because the actual initial movement is the occipital ridge. So you ramp your head, you hold it, and then you release, and then do 5 more of those. Head ramping. The chin is going to tuck, but it's not because you tucked it. That's the secret sauce in this move. Okay, finish up. We're done with the supine movements today. Come on up to a floor-seated position. Find a floor-seated position. Find your good posture. You may even want to put a little squeeze on the scapula, squeezing them together to open the chest a little bit. The hips should be directly underneath the shoulders, or the shoulders should be directly over the hips. We're going to do side bend first. I'm going to time, starting with your right hand, sliding along the mat. Left hand goes up and over. Keep your hips on the floor, both of them. And now drop your chin towards your armpit. for the rest of the 40 seconds.
Drop your elbow, you mean.
Oh, drop your elbow. Okay, drop your elbow. Yes. Since I don't have my elbow up, I wasn't thinking clearly about that. Come on up, elbow, and then spine. Other side, left arm slides along the floor. Right arm up and over. Now I have an upper arm up and over. Maybe I'll remember the right cue. Go ahead and drop your elbow forward. Elbow up, spine up. Come on up. And the next thing we're going to do is, you probably guessed, spine twist. So putting your left hand on your right knee, taking your right arm behind you, spider fingers. Stay in good posture. Twist your spine as far as you can. Your chin may be straight forward, or it can go back over the shoulder, or you can move it between those 2 points. If you'd like to, you can add rib cage slide. It's just a slide of the rib cage from side to side. Optional. Slowly unwind yourself, go to the other side. Switch your legs also, switch the cross of your legs. Other side, right hand on left knee, left hand behind your spider fingers. Rotate, so you're rotating the thoracic spine to the left. Remember, your chin can be either forward or looking over your back, your shoulder, or moving between those 2 points. And you can add a sliding of the rib cage so from side to side if you'd like. As long as you don't involve your upper trapezius. And as long as you maintain your spine twist. Come all the way back, unravel that. And let's do a stacked knees pose with a wrist. Let's do the prayer pose, wrist twist. So stacking your knees this time. Both knees are forward as best you can. And then hands in prayer pose. Go ahead and take your right hand, fingers go out, away from you and down. And from this position, look at Kathy. You're just pressing your hands together. So this is a wrist prayer pose, wrist twist with stacked knees. So you're doing some hip work at the same time. And I was supposed to time, you get a little more time on this side because I forgot to push the button. Sit up tall, everybody. Okay. Let's switch the knees, the stack of the knees, and go to the other side. This is a, whoops, boy, I got a cramp in my psoas from when I tried to switch. Oh, I don't think I'm gonna be, my knee's gonna, my knee, my top knee is not gonna bend. It's gonna be out straight. That's my adaptation. Go ahead and prayer pose. Then the left hand, the fingers go out away from you and then down so that you can press your palms together and get a nice bend at the wrists, both wrists. Okay, come out of this. Come back into a cross-legged position probably, or a Z, an S or a Z, which is the same thing. And we're going to continue floor seated, neck and shoulders. So from good posture, scapular elevation is called shoulder shrugs. You're elevating, this is all scapula, up, up, up as high as you can go, and then hold for a little bit and then release. And up this, if you hold tension in your neck and shoulders, this is a great way to release it. And 4 more. You could do this standing also. Be hard to do supine, I think. If you couldn't get out of bed, you could probably do it supine. So this is scapular elevation, as high as you can go, and then release. The next thing we're going to do is scapular depression. So this time you're going to do right one side at a time. So starting on the right side, you're going to depress your scapula. Just imagine the scapula is dropping down as low as you can get it. And once you get it down to as low as you can get it, then you angle it over towards your opposite hip pocket. So depress the scapula and then angle the tip of the scapula towards the opposite hip pocket. And release. And let's try it on the other, let's alternate. So this time you're going to depress the left scapula, as far as you can get it. Once you get it down as far as you can get it, then you angle it over towards the opposite hip pocket. You should feel the work here, you guys. It might take some time to become aware of the work, but if you actually are trying to do it, you are probably doing it. Switch sides. We're not going to do this 6 times because this is a lot of work. We're going to do it 3 times. Go right side, scapula depression, much as you can, and then angle the tip of the scapula. Imagine that you're angling the tip of the scapula towards your opposite back pocket. And then release. Left side, depress the scapula down towards the floor as low as you can get it. And then once you get there, angle the tip of the scapula, the bottom of the scapula, over towards the right hip pocket. And release. One more set. Right scapula, depress, and then angle to the opposite hip pocket. And release. Left scapula, depress it. Angle it, angle the tip of the scapula over towards the right hip pocket. And then release that. You're done with that. You can just roll your shoulders. And then I want you to sit up tall and then just squeeze the scapula together. This should open, you should feel more open in your chest. And this might be something, if you ever start to feel like you're rounding your back while you're sitting at your computer or whatever you're doing, using your cell phone, maybe you can take a minute, pay attention, and then do this scapular squeeze. It will help reverse the effects of what you were just doing. And let's do that 2 more times. Squeeze. This is a retraction, as you may recognize. Retracting the scapula, both of them. And 1 more. And release. Release, you can shake your shoulders. We're going to do a cervical side bends now. So cervical side bends, and then we're going to add resistance. First, drop your right ear to your right shoulder. And now go ahead and drop your chin towards your chest. Still side bending, but just changing the stretch along the neck. Chin up first and then the head up. Left shoulder, left ear, left shoulder. Sit up tall. May even want to squeeze your shoulder blades together a little bit. Drop your chin towards your armpit. Chin up, head up. Now we're going to add resistance. This is a totally different stretch. Don't put your hand up there yet. Drop your right ear to your right shoulder. Now put your, take your right hand and put it on your left ear.
Oh, this one, yeah. Right.
And press up. So you're going to press up into the hand. So press your head up into your hand. So this is a totally different stretch. It's it's a resistance stretch along the neck. Lift your hand off, drop your chin, and then put your hand back. So you don't want to move things while you're putting pressure on your neck. Lift your hand, bring your chin up, and then bring your neck up. Go to the other side, left ear to left shoulder. Take your left hand and put it on your right ear. I'm going to adapt here. I'm going to do something a little different, just so you know that when you have a broken arm, you can adapt. And go ahead and start pressing up into your hand. I'm going to use my right hand instead of my left hand. Go ahead and release the hand, drop the chin, put the hand back. And then release your hand, bring your chin up, and then bring your head up. And let's do, before we go on, let's do flying pizza. It's a double flying pizza. You know flying pizza from side lying. But yeah, put your hands, you start with your elbows bent, tucked into the waist. The arms are, forearms are straight out in front of you, Kathy, to start. Palms facing each other. Palms facing, there. That's from there. That's the starting position. It's hard to translate from a side laying, isn't it? But here we are. And now you're going to do both arms. You're going to rotate out and up, right? Just like, look at Kathy. She's doing a good job. And are we going to stay there? Let's see. You can do a repetition on this. It's slow though. Back, now out. You should feel this in the upper back at the rotator cuff, where the muscles that hold the scapula in place, the rotator cuff muscles. And do this a couple more times. Good posture. And last one. And come on back. Okay, let's go to, we're going to do a quadruped wrist stretch. So continuing to do wrists. Come on into a quadruped stretch. Now, from here, from hands and knees, take your right hand and take the fingers back behind you. And start with spider fingers. And we're going to time it 40 seconds. Actually, I think I'll do 30 seconds. But so you're up on your fingers so that you're stretching your fingers first. And you can experiment with the location. Go ahead and experiment with the location of your hand. It can be closer to your knee or farther away. And go ahead and stop now. And go do this. This time, do it with your wrist down on the floor. So working this is a wrist stretch. The other was really a finger stretch. Experiment with how close you get it to your knee. You can actually move your hips back and forth. Okay, switch sides. Left hand, starting with the fingers only, just so it's a spider fingers. Remember, two things, you can move your hand farther or away or closer to your knee, and you can drop your hips in a sort of a rocking motion. Now, the second set is palm down. Okay, now I realize I forgot to do neuro balls, hand release with neuro balls. So let's do that now. Come up to a floor seated position. And you may need 2 blocks to put your hands on. Okay, starting with position number 1, which is at the top of the palm. Hold on, I'm going to put my timer on. So we're doing both sides at once. Position number 2 is right smack dab in the middle of the palm. So Emily Fletchel is now talking about circulation. She's usually been talking about the neuroballs and the mats and everything for nervous system health. But she's now doing research and talking about the circulation, which I already knew that it addressed. But so we'll probably get more tips about how to use these balls for circulation in the future. And then this third position is below the second position at the base of the palm. I'm doing only one hand, but the hand that's in a sling, I'm actually squeezing a ball randomly. Don't neglect your hurt body parts. Fourth position is on the outside edge of the hand. Find your own spot. Sit up tall. Fifth position on the inside edge of the hand. It's along the webbing between the thumb and the forefinger. Okay, the last position is at the thumb pad. Sort of at the base of the thumb pad. This is also a pain reliever pressure point in acupuncture, in acupressure. Okay. Good, that should feel good. Shake out your hands or wiggle your fingers, wrists. And then find your way onto your belly, prone position for a back extension. Put your hands beside you, palms up, beside your hips, palms up. Forehead is on the floor or on a towel. Take an inhale to prepare and then exhale, lift your hands, your chest, your head. And just stay here as long as you can. And if you'd like to, in the middle of it, you can lift your chest a little bit higher. Keep breathing. And then inhale to prepare and exhale to return to the floor. We're going to do it again, but we're going to add airplane if you can. Otherwise, stay with the arms at the side. Take an inhale to prepare and exhale to come up. Take an inhale again, and then an exhale, arms out to the side. Airplane. Stay here as long as you can. I have the timer on for 40 seconds. Some people won't be able to stay that long, and you can come back and down and rest. While you're here, if you are still here, you may want to lift your chest up just a little higher. And go ahead and inhale. And then exhale and come on down. Bring your arms out into a T along the floor. Look to the right. Take your right leg up and over across your left leg. Keep your elbows, your armpits, your arms, your chest on the floor. That's the only rule here. And then just, this is a release for the upper back. The upper back and the shoulders. And come on back. Switch sides. This time you're looking left and the left leg comes up and over. Keep your armpits on the floor, keep your chest on the floor, keep your hands on the floor. Do anything you want with your leg. And come on back, find your way onto your back for Yoga Nidra. 61-point guided meditation. You want to be warm and safe, comfortable. We're going to start by paying attention to the breath. Just breathing in and breathing out and observing your belly as it rises and falls. You can have your legs up on a chair if you'd like. Now bring your awareness and your attention to the center of your eyebrows, center of your throat, right shoulder, elbow, wrist, right thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, right wrist, elbow, shoulder, center of your throat, left shoulder, elbow, wrist, left thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, left wrist, elbow, shoulder, center of your throat, spiritual heart center, right side of your chest, heart center, left side of your chest, heart center, navel center, center of your pelvis, right hip, knee, ankle, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, right ankle, knee, hip, center of your pelvis, left hip, knee, ankle, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, left ankle, knee, hip, center of your pelvis, navel center, heart center, center of your throat, center of your eyebrows. This completes the 61-point guided Yoga Nidra meditation. Go ahead and start to wiggle, extend your legs along the mat, extend your arms overhead by your ears. Wiggle and stretch left and right, and both arms and both legs. Stretch. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Rotate your wrists and your ankles in one direction and then the other. And then hug your right knee to your chest. And then hug your left knee to your chest. Hug both knees to your chest and rock from side to side. Releasing the tension in your lower back, opening the hips. Whenever you're ready, roll all the way over to your side, one side or the other. Using your bottom arm as a pillow, stay here long enough to appreciate your class today. Thank your body, thank your fellow students. Just gratitude, feel the gratitude, and then come on up to a seated position. I'm stopping the spotlight and moving my view to gallery so I can share namaste with you. Oh, I guess I have to put my video back on also. There we are. Bring your hands together and press your hands together. And feel some of the shoulder work we've done. Meet your scapula. Say hello to your scapula. And then soften your prayer pose. And just allow your skull to roll forward over the top of the cervical spine, just rolling forward and nodding. And noticing and knowing that we're all, each of us is a light. Each of us is a light. Finding that. And then knowing that we're all one light. And we'll close the class by saying to each other, Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you.
I'm going to pause